Hi there, this is Kathy Crow at the Crow Cottage. You caught me here at the last minute. I'm scrambling because one of the reasons it was very hard for me to get ready today is I hurt my thumb. Thankfully, this one little Band-Aid seems to be doing it. I'm embarrassed to say that I actually snipped some flesh off with those. They're very sharp scissors. I didn't think they were that sharp. Anyway, so thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you share my video because then I will enter you in the drawing, which I'm cutting my last names out. Normally I look a little bit ahead of time to see who was what. Oh, hey Linda, it's nice to see you. Good luck because you haven't won for a while. So anyhow, yeah, and we will see how the card goes. I see it seems to be moving okay. Just I can't apply pressure in that spot where I've cut it, and yeah, I just snipped the flesh right off. I hate that because then that means it's going to take a while for that to really heal up, you know, when it just shaves the skin right off. It's and it was a pretty good shave. As I was doing, I was like, no, my skin is in there, but I'd already done it. Linda, it's cool and windy in Virginia. You can see outside of my window. It is bright and sunny, but it's kind of cold here too. It's I think today it's supposed to be in the 50s. And that sounds like it should feel fairly warm, but every time I've stepped out there, it's felt cold, and my heat has been coming on a fair bit, so I know it's not that warm. The sun is a little bit deceptive as far as the warmth factor goes. I think at least there is no wind for us. I mean, there is a slight breeze, but for us, that's nothing. So there's virtually no wind out there, and I am going to get out on a bike ride, so we will see. All right, I'll go ahead and do the drawing. We'll see who won. Mary was really lucky last week, and Mary actually won our team challenge drawing too. So she's had a really, really lucky week for in the stamping world, I guess I should say. Okay, so here we go. We'll see. Oops, I got two names. Let me do that again because I got two in my hand. All right, let's try that again. And it is Freddie. Congratulations, Freddie. It's been a while since you've won, so that's nice for you. I will send you my little gift card, and I appreciate that you guys are sharing the videos so much. I hope we see our Kathy Crow again in Illinois. That's always fun when she can join me. All right, so my glasses again are pretty dirty. You know, this weekend I should have got some extra. I did get some extra stuff done. I've been cleaning closets, and this morning. One of the things that I did, there they are, okay. We always save our tax returns. They say you should save them for 10 years. I mean, seriously, that's a lot of paperwork. And, yeah, every year, for the last 5 years, my husband and I have been trying to, well, actually, it's probably only been the last 3 years. Once a year at tax time, I make us sit down and, hi, Sonia, good to see you. How are you? You know, we sit down and shred a couple of years worth of documents, and then because I don't have a shredder, I should invest in a shredder. My daughter-in-law has a shredder, and she said you could be using it for all your packaging. That's what she's doing. Well, that was smart. I didn't even think about that. So instead of buying bubble wrap or trying to save, it's hard to save bubble wrap. Boy, it takes up a lot of space, doesn't it? It's a lot of air in there. Oh, I can see you now. All right, let me show you what we are doing. We're going to do garden shed. I know I've done garden shed, or I think I have before. And I kind of got it started because there is a lot of coloring, and I didn't want to make you watch me color that much. I wanted to combine it with our Gnome for the Holiday. Now, Gnome for the Holidays is so cute, isn't it? They're just the cutest little gnomes. Look at those little guys. Because you can't see their faces at all. I mean, the little girl you can. But they're totally hit. I actually really like that because I have a big garden. I love gardening, but the garden gnomes that I'm going to put the camera down now, so be aware as we turn and hope that it goes. Good, it did. this is the card I'm gonna do. Let me see if I can get my lights to shine on here better. And the gnomes that I see to put in a garden, I don't want a gnomey garden anyway. So I don't want a ton. I just want, you know, it'd be kind of nice to have a gnome out there. So I've looked. Do you know what Corner Gas is? Corner Gas is a comedy show that was made in Canada a few years ago, probably 10, 15 years ago. It's hilarious. It's one of the most fun things we've ever found to watch on TV. Anyway, there is an Oscar the Gnome, Garden Gnome episode that's so funny that when we saw it, my husband said, "You've got to find a gnome that looks like Oscar." And I can't, you know, as a character, they would never make a gnome that would actually look like him. Although I shouldn't say that, because I've seen some pretty scary looking gnomes. They either look really scary or funny. So these gnomes are perfect. Their faces are hidden. So what I did is I took our little garden shed and I am making it yellow, sunny yellow, because it's kind of gray and dismally out there, for our fall garden. It's going to be our fall garden. And I cut with my die cut machine, Stampin' Up! Die cut machine. I used the two largest stitched rectangle dies already, and I cut a bumblebee mat. And then this one is just Whisper White that I'm going to be coloring on. But I used Daffodil Delight and Pineapple Punch on the sky. We're going to do more on the sky. That's what I'm going to kind of feature here today, is just a different way of doing your sky if you're kind of stuck without all of your ink pads maybe. Now, this is what it's going to hopefully turn out like. I wanted it to look like a not gray, wintry sky. I didn't want it to look like a bright blue sky either, although we have those in the fall a lot. So that would be totally appropriate for our region. But some regions, I think you have a softer sky a lot of the time because it's cloudier in the fall. But I didn't want clouds. I wanted it to be a happy card. We've got our little pumpkins. This is from the Fireside Trimmings set, okay? And the saying one of the sayings in the garden shed thing is, plant dreams, dig out doubts, and grow a happy life. So that's what I wanted to focus on today, as something maybe cheery in a world where we're kind of in a state of, wow, what's going to happen tomorrow? I think it'll be fine. But anyway, today I'm going to think about it. We're going to be in our little garden world, enjoying our little guys. So I colored these already, and I had to fussy cut them out. There's no die cuts with the gnomes. So you have to fussy cut. Oh, I forgot. Let's try to find my video, and then I can see if you're saying anything up here. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I am there. I just disconnected myself. Let me try it again. I'm having a hard time doing this, folks. This is an indication. The snipping flesh off of my skin was probably the first clue that my brain's not quite in total function mode today. All right, already lost 15 minutes here, and I'm just getting going. All right, so here we go. The colors I'm using are terracotta, dark and light. Calypso Coral is the blending pen color, although terracotta tile is what I was kind of going for. So I used the dark Calypso Coral for his little stripes, and light olive green or old olive green there. And then this one is Pumpkin Pie and Mango Melody. Again, using pretty much the light colors. And his beard, I use gray granite and bronze, and you could use anything for his beard. And I'm just using the same color for his beard as for his little feet, because I didn't want to make this a Christmassy one. There's a lot of stripes in there. You can make it a lot more Christmassy if you want. That's why it's called Gnome for the Holidays. It's kind of more of a Christmas set, but by just cutting off the extra things that give it that Christmassy feel, you can easily make this stamp set any season that you want. I made, if you go on my Pinterest page, you'll see how I did the tree. I just stamped a couple of times, taking out the Christmas lights, but you could even leave the lights and make them, you know, a more Thanksgiving type, you know, Thanksgiving type colors. I see, oh, good. I see some, Linda, awesome, you are with me. I was thinking I'd lost everybody there for a minute. I'm wondering if is my video going? Anyway, so the thing is there isn't a lot of, it was pretty easy to cut off the Christmas ornament. There was a really cute card that I copied where somebody had taken the little Halloween bucket from our Twick or Tweet set that was a couple of years ago and stuck that in his hand for a Halloween card. That looked really cute, but you can just snip it off. There's a little line there, but you just color it and it doesn't, no one will know he was carrying something, and you could probably find something out of this set. Even if you were trying to make it a springy thing, you could find something to make him hold a gardening element, but we're going to skip all of that. So today what I wanted to do is to show you how I did the sky different than sponging, because this one has pretty good area to sponge, but I didn't want to get any sponge color on my trees or the roof. So today I am opting for the very fast, easy method of just using my old blending pens. And I took a light pineapple punch blending pen already and colored the whole thing. And then the ground I did with light So Saffron. And that's what I'm starting out with, is just everything. And pretty much a solid sheet of color there. Not totally. There's some white in there. Okay, so now I'm going to just go over with my Pool Party pen. And if I leave some streaks, I'm not too concerned about that. I don't want to make it too dark. I am going to be going over this, you know, with this color a few times with a few different colors. So if I leave in some streaks, I want them to be the lighter yellowy streaks. I don't want a lot of that dark streak coming in. So, yeah, so I'm just not too concerned about the streak. For one thing, when you are looking at a sky, a lot of the time there are streaks in the sky, aren't there? So as long as they're not too uniform, it'll look fine. And then as this dries, I'll see how it really looks, and then I'll fix what I don't like. The pen has got a pretty nice nib on it, so if there's some streaks that I'm leaving that are just a little too obvious, a little too dark, I'll just use the tip and fill that in. So now that's what we've got. It's fairly green looking. That might be a little more green than I want, right? So let's try some, not balmy blue. That would probably be too light, but some light Seaside Spray. Let's try that. See if I can get it just a little more blue. And I am going to start on the bottom, just because that's where it's going to be darker, and if it's going to be too dark, then I can stop. I'm going to just do it a little bit here and stop. That's looking a little dark, so I'm probably not going to use that one. That one's just going to be a bit too dark, so we'll skip Seaside Spray. I think I did put it in later as I was doing it. You can see I've layered it up pretty good. I think we're going to go ahead with Dark Pool Party now, because I do want it to be a little more blue. And we'll start right again over where I just did it, because if it's going to be darker, I want it to be down there by the horizon. And we'll just put a quick layer of Pool Party there. Now, you're thinking, well, just get out the sponge and do it with the sponge. And I could do that, and that would be pretty fast to do, but I just don't want to get a bunch in there where my roof line is. And it is hard. It's hard for me to sponge without making a mask. If you make a mask of the garden shed, which would be pretty easy to do, then you could even just put some tape on it even. You wouldn't even have to make a mask. And then you could just you could just sponge. And sponging is going to give you a smoother effect. Now, one of the other reasons I wanted to do this is just to kind of keep my hand in. I used to do all my skies this way, and I do kind of like the effect of the lines. The other thing is that if Jeff and I do happen to move in the future, I might be without my ink pads I'm not gonna, might need to be making do with some of my pens for these things instead of my ink pad. So I need to keep in. Okay, now since I've got some lines there anyway, I'm gonna do some squiggling here, just to keep that sky from looking too straight across. All right, we're gonna have to use a little more yellow. I'm not quite thinking that's good enough. I do want it to be a sunny one. So we'll use this is soft saffron. And I can kind of go into my tree with this because I'm gonna have a lot of yellow on that tree. All right, now with this, I can actually use some blending here and try to get those streaks to blend a bit more. Okay, now you can see how that's kind of fading a little bit, which is good. It's kind of what I wanted to have it happen. Kind of fading a little bit. These blending pens are really nice because you can just kind of keep going with them and layering color, layering until you get what you like. So you can't really hurt it too much, I suppose there's a possible moment where you will say, you know what, I think that's beyond help and I'm done. But I've never had that happen. You just keep going. You'll find something that looks pretty good. All right, now let's try a little bit of light, not dark, but light crumb cake. I think I used some. I thought maybe I used some gray, but maybe it was crumb cake. I just don't really remember. We're not gonna go too carried away here, just on the bottom mostly. I don't want a brown sky necessarily, but I do want it darker here at the bottom. All right, we're gonna put a little bit of this here. Get a little bit of our yellow off. All right. Now we're gonna try, I think I'm gonna have to try our pool party again, our dark pool party. Now this should be the last pool party layer I put in. So I'm gonna put a fair amount down here on the bottom. I do want this to look more blue than anything else. So how are you guys doing? We had a really nice quiet weekend. Went to our favorite coffee shop. I got a pumpkin scone this week. That was good because they don't always have them. Sometimes they're out of the pumpkin scone. It's like, no, you've got to be kidding me. There's no pumpkin scone. So that was a treat. All right, I'm kind of getting near the end, so I'm trying to smooth it out this time. I don't really want to have to come in and layer it again too awfully much. Getting near the end. You can see this guy's much darker than the one I did there. I think I lucked out in my coloring layers on my first one. It's kind of like beginner's luck. Right? All right, there we go. Still got to get a little bit of gray in there, but I don't want gray granite. We do need smoky slate. That one's the lighter gray. Hi Trudy, thanks for sharing. All right, so try a little gray. Let's see how dark you're gonna be. Oh, you're gonna be way too dark. We're gonna stick with gray just at the horizon here. That's gonna be too dark to use. Okay. I'm wondering how I got this bright blue here. I might have used a Copic pen. It's possible. When I was playing, I might have grabbed one of those. Let's see, what have we got? I know I have some balmy blue in here somewhere. I just had it out. Where did you go? There you are. You're on the side. That's Seaside Spray. Let's try the light balmy blue and see if that can turn that a little more blue. Kind of. All right. I definitely don't want my yellow on the edge. So if we're gonna have a different color edge, I want it to be blue. Don't want it to be yellow there. If I got desperate, I could get out my sponge and sponge on some blue. But we'll see what we get here. All right, I think I'm coming to the very end. And that is what it's going to be. So my sky ended up being much stormier looking than I really wanted it to be. I am going to grab out my, let's see, where's the, no, I got, that's not that one. Trying to find, oh, here we go. My blue-green 000. Let's see if this will make a difference. At this point, I doubt if it will. It's a pretty light color. But I can maybe get some of this yellow smoothed out a bit with it. I did put a pretty good layer of yellow on it. Maybe I didn't layer the first one quite as yellowy, although I thought I did. Pretty much just colored the whole thing yellow. You can see this is kind of lifting up some of that color, and that's not necessarily bad. I don't know if I have much of my original color left here. There we go. That is the other thing about your blending pens. If you've made it really dark, if you get a lighter blender, look at that. It's looking like it's losing its color right there. Isn't that funny? You can lift up your darker colors with your lighter colors. All right, I'm gonna have to get something really blue. Blue. That one is B12. Again, we'll start down here, so we'll see how that goes. Ah, there we go. That's more, a little more blue. If it's going to be dark, I want it to be more blue dark than yellow dark. Okay, very good. Boy, this is looking dark though. I probably have only managed to convince you to never do this in sponge instead, which really wasn't my goal, but whatever works, whatever works. All right, I do kind of like to be able to use the pen like down here and the little bits of the tree. You could sponge and still do this, and you know, that might have been the smarter ticket. Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah, that's better. Much better. Still very dark compared to the one I was going for, isn't it? All right, now we can do the rest of it. We're going to just do it pretty quickly. I think I used my the light old olive on the roof. Okay, we're just going to go real fast on there. And I am going the wrong direction on purpose. Normally you'd want to go in the direction that your shadowing is going to go rather than in the lines. Follow your lines. The predominant lines are going this way, so I would normally have done that, but that taken a little longer. So now I want to put in my shadow. It's a lot, the lines are closer up here, it's darker, so I'm assuming that would be where my shadow would be. And you can just kind of follow your lines a little bit. Now this is going to smooth out after it dries, so you don't have to worry about whether you got it too dark or not. It'll be fine. And we're going to use some bronze. Let's use that bronze for the rim. Use the bullet point right there of your little shed. I love the garden shed. It's such a cute one. I think I'll do the step. Ooh, that's too dark. Well, we'll do it anyway. Okay. And while I'm here, I am going to go ahead and use the bullet tip for the trees. You could get a marker. A marker is going to make it a little easier. It's just spreading a little much, but I'm just using it while I've got it right here, rather than search out for that marker. It's very peaceful in the garden. I think I've got a whole bunch of little sayings about, you know, I work the hoe, God sends the rain, sort of little sayings with, you know, just the idea of having peaceful things going in the garden. Okay, now we need our pumpkin pie. Add color to those trees. That's Calypso Coral. Okay, we want that. There's pumpkin pie. And we want something bright red, so we'll use our Poppy Parade. And I think I've already got the orange in there, and we've got our old olive out. I'll put just a little bit of that in a minute, but let's start with our dark pumpkin pie. I saw a Babylon Bee that was really funny. You'll like this one. Sort of a garden-themed one. Bible scholar claims that Adam... What happened? Uh-oh, I think my whole lighting system... Wow, I don't know how I did it, but somehow I managed to knock all my lights out. But I think they're back. Wow. Maybe that was God saying I shouldn't use my Babylon Bee. It was a good one. Okay, I am going to use it. I'm kidding. It was fine. So, Bible scholars, and so it's a Babylon Bee is fake, okay? I guess one thing I should say is Babylon Bee is made to look like real news. It's parody, so it's not true. Anything I say isn't true. It's supposed to be funny, and I think you guys all know that. But I'm just saying that just in case that was what that light thing was all about. Bible scholars claim that Adam and Eve... I am back. I don't know why my internet went down, but my internet went down temporarily, so I hope I'm back on. I'm going to have to find me again, I think, on my Facebook page. Maybe it will come back. I hope so. Uh-oh, my internet is down, so I'm going to have to finish quick here because I am using my cell data to do this. Isn't that funny? So anyhow, we will continue, but my internet is down. So maybe when that light flickered, it was had something to do with whatever is happening to our internet too. Okay, so we are done with that. Let's put in a little bit of red. And I'm using dark for these colors. Okay, the image is so vague, you know, these little leaves, that you can just dot your pen like I'm doing, and it'll look good. I know people who think that artists, you know, some artists are very detailed, and they wouldn't just be dabbing with a pen. But yeah, if you look at a lot of art, a lot of it is just dabbing with paint here and there, and... So you might be surprised what you can get away with. Now I'm going to use the bullet tip and just go in there a little bit. I don't want a lot of green because the tree is supposed to be... Oh, my internet is back. Let's see if I'm still even functioning or if I'm just in La La Land out here somewhere. I'm back. I see that I am back. Wow, incredible. And just go in. Yay, I even got some people during my blackout. Awesome. Thank you guys for sharing. It's nice to see you. I hope you are still with me because I don't know if I actually left. Everything, my lights went out. My camera said it couldn't connect to the internet. My computer went dead. My voice is still on. I thought I shut it off. There it is. Okay. All right. So let's just do a little bit more with the green. And then I think I'm going to put in just a little bit of crumb cake. A little bit of dark crumb cake. No, though. We don't want dark. Let's try light crumb cake. Okay, just any little white spots that are left in there in that tree, we'll add that to it. Try to smooth that, make that one unit. I think I must have added some cinnamon cider. I bet that's what I did, because I'm thinking I'm seeing some cinnamony stuff in there in that tree. So let's do that. Oh yes, that is the ticket. There we go. That was what I was needing, what I missed. All right. Cinnamon cider is what I'm going to be coloring with the pots, but I do want to use our dark Calypso coral just around the rims to make it a little bit more terracotta looking. On the inside of the pot. Okay. All right, and if you wanted more of an orangey kind of thing, you could use your terracotta tile or your, actually it's Calypso coral. The light one, though, is going to look a little pink. You probably don't want to use that. Just the, all right. So if we keep coloring here, let me get the bullet tip. I want to blend that a little bit. All right, very good. So is one of my kid books, hi Freddie, it's nice to see you. How did you know you won? Today you won the drawing, so congratulations. You probably already knew that. So one of my questions in my little kids book, if you're trying to start a conversation with a young child, you know, you're stuck in the doctor's office, the things that you would normally speak to them about, you can ask them, is a hot dog a sandwich? Okay, is a hot dog a sandwich? It has a bun, but I don't know if it makes it a sandwich. But anyway, that's the question of the day. Is a hot dog a sandwich? I think we want a different color for that hat. I am going to cover that hat greatly with the gnome's head, but because it's too springy, you know. So we're going to stick our gnome right in front of it, but it is going to show a bit. Let's go ahead and make it a straw hat, and that way it won't show much. Sort of the same thing with these tools. I don't really want to emphasize the tools here. They can be there. I'm not trying to take them out, but I don't really want to emphasize them in this whole scenario with my little gnome garden. Does anybody do the fairy garden where you've got a nice cute, oops, I missed a pot. You're going to have a nice little pot with cute little fairy things in it. It's kind of nice. All right, now take your old olive, light old olive, and you can just kind of cover your ground with that after I've put that pineapple in. It's going to give it a little bit more of a olivey color. I don't have to spend a whole lot of time here on these bushes or underneath or anything. Just kind of going quick there. And then how about some of your, I actually probably want ivory, but let's grab my crumb cake out again. I know I had it in hand. There it is. Okay, light crumb cake. And we're going to just do a little bit right at the edges where your lines are. That way we're going to get it a little darker around there. So it's not one uniform color. And if you want to mimic grass, you can kind of do that with your pointy end. But I'm not going to because that's just going to take time, and I am going to put pumpkins there anyway. Okay. Get that a little darker around the shed where there would be shadow, right? You have a fairy garden, Andy. How cute. Oh, 2 horses in it. That sounds so cute. See, I always was going to do something like that and never got around to it. And now I've kind of lost the yearning. Okay, Freddie, yes, like a sub is a sandwich, but a sub has a different kind of a bun, right? Does that count? Okay, so some people are saying it is a sandwich. I don't know. They did call hamburgers a hamburger sandwich, I think, when they first started coming out. Since my sky is dark, my window is dark. I left it lighter here, but I'm thinking, well, that sky is pretty dark. So we're going to go ahead and make the window dark as well. Okay, I think we are done fussing with this shed. And now we can just assemble. So let me take my little pumpkin. So the fireside trimming pumpkins have a die, thank goodness. But I did color my gnomes and cut them out. And I lost the other one, but he's here somewhere. I will clear my pens and we'll find him. There he is. I see him. Oops, I just lost them all right there on my lap. Okay, so what is the weirdest thing? Here's another one. I guess this is a better one for an adult. A bun is a bun. Okay, you got me on that one. Okay, pumpkin pie. We need a tiny, tiny piece of pumpkin pie. I did not cut that out ahead of time, so I'll need to do that. Let's go ahead and just glue my piece down so I know what's what. This is not even matching. I thought I used Bumblebee, but that one's a little darker, so that one might be crushed curry. But we're going to use Bumblebee because I've got that one already stitched out here. So what is the weirdest thing that a guest has done in your house? Okay, there was a time that we had some pretty strange events. This was a long time ago. I was trying to think when I came up with this question that, you know, what could I say that would be not insulting to anyone, right? It's always something you can probably come up with, but you're thinking, I don't want the whole world necessarily, because they might know who I'm talking about. But, oh, here you are, little gnome. Aren't you cute? Better put you up here where you belong. The weirdest thing, it was the same guest. There were 2 things. It was the same guest. I'm not going to say his name. It was a boy. It was a young teen boy, so that explains a lot. We were taking care of them, actually. They were doing a little short mission trip to our church. A little group, a very small group of teen boys that had graduated from high school, but this one, you know, Yeah, this one he had graduated, I know, but he was definitely young at heart. Okay, now we need some cinnamon. Cinnamon cider. And that is going to be the base card. So I'm going to put it on a white one, but we'll stick this over here and cut around rather than measure. So anyway, they had I had just had a baby, our last little guy, and I had a 1-year-old running around and our 6-year-old daughter there. So our rules were pretty strict because I didn't want them interacting a whole lot with our kids unless I was in the room. And, you know, they're young teen boys. What do you think? And they were nice boys. They were fine. I know boys. I didn't want them teaching our kids things that I would regret. A child guest accidentally called 911. That's pretty good, Linda. That would have been a tough one to explain. Did you know that they called or did they just arrive? That would be bad. That would be really bad. And you could get into serious trouble, too. And how embarrassing. All right, so cinnamon cider. Anyway, so they didn't bother me at all. They were really nice boys. The only thing is I had to give them pretty strict instructions about our our clothes and washer and dryer. I was doing a lot of laundry, and I couldn't have their clothes in there, and they had to use it, you know. So, oh, I need to stamp my little sentiment. I hope I left enough room. Let's see if I did. So this one is not that one. Where is it? Oh, it's the garden shed one. It's a long one. Plant dreams, dig out doubts, and grow a happy life. And I left off the grow a happy life. I'm just doing plant dreams, dig out doubts. And I've got an and that I just kind of hand wrote in there, okay? I did do the and grow a happy life. Okay, I thought I left it off, but I did that part. So I'm putting that on the top and the next one on the bottom is what I'm doing. Okay, now I gotcha. So anyway, they arrived. Oh, Linda, how awful. How awful. I hope this child was really young, because ooh, that could be bad. Better do it in black, because this is not going to show up easily on this dark. If you're not sure, you could always just do a tag. Okay, so I just inked up the whole thing, and I need to take off the bottom. Anyway, they had a strict curfew too. You know, we didn't want them coming in in the middle of the night. Yet they were all over 18, and 2 of them were very responsible. It was just this one who was really irresponsible, and we didn't trust at all. My husband, we had just gone to bed, and my husband thought he heard something weird going on. He said, "Hold on, I'll be right back," and he left the room. And then he came back in, and he said, "Yeah, that's what I thought. Alan was trying to get in our bedroom window." And I was like, "What? Are you kidding me? What is he doing?" And he said, "Well, he was out, and he locked himself out, and he didn't want to wake anyone." I thought, you know, he knew this is our bedroom window. Seriously? It didn't bother me at all. I knew Jeff would take care of it. It was just ridiculous, though. He's lucky that a neighbor didn't call 911 on him. We had a really good neighborhood. Okay, I'm trying to make sure I get that all inked up. You know, right there. There's a little spot. I'm not sure, but I've got it. Okay, so right at the top there. That worked out well. Now the bottom's a lot easier to do. Make sure it's dry. I think I'll just try to ink the bottom this time instead of cleaning it all. It's just a little tricky. You kind of have to hold your stamp so you can see what you're doing. Or you can just ink, and then do what I did and wipe. Make sure you wipe it off. But you do have to dry it because otherwise the dampness will make a stamping mark. Now I'm doing it in a spot where it might be concealed pretty well anyway, but not completely. This one I'm going to have to squeeze in here. Barely right on the bottom. And my "and" is really kind of concealed, and some of the words are, like grow might be hard for somebody to read, but they're going to get it. It's not that big a deal. It's fine. I took a gel pen for my other one and whited out the area behind the "and" so that you could see the word better, but it's really not necessary to do that. Anyway, that was one thing he did. He did another thing too. I don't even really remember what was the other thing he did. I know he did something else too. It was really nutty. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and glue this on here. Just straight on. Don't remember what he did. Our kids really liked them. They were really nice. They weren't around our house a lot because they had jobs they were supposed to be doing, and my husband made sure they did them pretty well. And then we had, I think, our youth minister was trying to keep them busy too, keep them working. It was funny because. Oh, a sticky note. There you go, Freddie. I always forget to use a sticky note. I've got a lot of masking materials around. I just don't use them. But yeah, I could have done that. A sticky note would have worked well. All right, so I'm going to try to use up some of my dark dimensionals here on these little guys. One thing that happened wasn't because of my guests. My guest didn't do it. I did it. It was really strange. And it was to my poor daughter who hadn't visited us in a while. And then she left and I couldn't find my clock key, my wind up clock key. And this shed is like no mother. Oh, you are good. Very good, Andy. And I thought, I can't accuse Mary of stealing my clock key because I know she wouldn't ever do that. But how do I ask her if she's got my clock key? Because it's just kind of a weird, it's kind of a weird thing. Okay, now where do I want my pumpkins? Let's see. I gotta move you guys around. I know where I want him. He's got to cover up that hat. Okay, good. I want to make sure he's up high enough that I can get my pumpkins in front of him. So we'll stick him right there. And then we'll just go ahead and do you too while I'm right here. So I finally did just texted her and said, if you happen to find a clock key amongst your things, it's mine. And I need it back. So I felt better when she said, yeah, I did see it in my purse. And I wondered how that had got there and what it was. I didn't even know what it was, she said. It was pretty funny. And I was like, how did it get in your purse? And then I remember, oh, yeah. When she'd first arrived, I was dusting the piano where that clock is. And I had to move that key. And I think I knocked it off into her purse somehow. It was really crazy. So that wasn't her fault. Hi, Jewel. It's nice to see you. How is your day going? All right, little pumpkins. There you are. Okay, so there you go. We'll put our base on that little card, and you've got a happy, happy little gnome garden just for you. Now, I think our curvy sentiment thing, our curvy celebrations with curvy Christmas and curvy dies and curvy stamps and all that stuff, that is going on sale pretty soon. And I think next week I'm going to do something with curvy. It's going to have to be a curvy something. I'm not really sure what kind of curvy I want to do because You know, there's a lot of really cool things you can do with those curvy dies. Have you guys been looking at all the different things on Pinterest that have been done with them? Just so cool. All right, let's see how big you are. I think you're larger than standard. Actually, that's pretty close to 5.5. That is very, very close. We can do a standard sized card. How did I manage to do that? We go 5.5. Pretty much a miracle. I think I might even have one already done and ready to go. Let me see if I do. I think I do. Yay, that is very close. Awesome. All right. Oops, I put my adhesive away. All right. I was so glad the last time I went out on my bike ride that my little, I told you, near our house that we have a cute little schnauzers that they're not miniature schnauzers. They're probably a schnauzer mix, but they look like schnauzers. But they're bigger, but they're not quite as big as a terrier one, you know. Like because there's a miniature schnauzer and then there's your regular sized schnauzer, and these dogs are kind of in between. I think that size. They're very cute. And for the last, I'm gonna have to say, maybe even a month, at least 3 weeks. Every time I've ridden by, there's only been one in the yard or none. And every week, of course, they don't even bark at me or look at me anymore. They're just so unimpressed with me. And but last week I was so excited when I went riding my bike down there by them because the black one was back, and they were both up on their fence, little front paws, barking their heads off at a nice family that was walking towards them. But the family was 2 whole blocks away. They were very far away, but they had a nice collie with them. And that collie was just so ignoring the racket those schnauzers were making. It was pretty funny. It was fun to see that the dog's friend was back. I was afraid of what might have happened to him, and he was back. So that was good. They're very cute. All right, I am done. Isn't that cute? I do like the lighter sky better, but that one turned out good too. And I think I used shimmer paper. I'm seeing some shimmer, and I did not do any Wink of Stella. So I bet you that might have made a difference too, that I had some shimmer paper on there. So I'm gonna put the camera up here. Here I am, and I am back. All right, so everything worked out okay. I successfully managed to do that without even bleeding on the card, although I do see that I'm gonna need to change my Band-Aid out. It's not happy that I pushed a lot on it at all. And go ahead and check out that Curvy Celebration in a couple of days. You will really enjoy that stamp set. It's very cute. And the dies. And now we are going to be coming up to Thanksgiving. Don't forget about Thanksgiving. They're going to try to make you think only about Christmas for the next several weeks. But we actually haven't even had Thanksgiving yet. Jeff said, I know you keep telling me this, but I went into Rite Aid and they had no autumn things out. They were all gone or on sale in a bin, and it had Christmas stuff all over, everywhere, Christmas stuff. Said, yeah, that's the way it is. They have to sell it, you know. All right, so I think that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. Congratulations again, Freddie, and I will see you guys next week. And with a healed thumb, I hope. All right, bye.